My name's Mary Opperman, and I'm the Vice President and Chief Human Resource Officer at Cornell University. Cornell University has a lot of generations in the workplace, and we have a lot of different types of workers. You know that obviously we wouldn't be who we are without the faculty, and the faculty range in age, but we also have staff. We have a lot of staff, actually. So when you think about our workforce, most people don't think about the non-academic staff, but we have a lot of them. So we have about 1,600 faculty. We have about 1,200 academic non-professorials, and the remainder of our 12,000, and this is just on the Ithaca campus, the remainder of our 12,000 are staff, and they range in age. So we'll have staff who come right out of college, and we have people who spend their whole career with us. So we have to be very creative when we think about how we get them all involved in the workplace. So we have very formal programs. Some of our most innovative programs are our development programs. So we use experiential learning. We have management and leadership programs that take people away for as short as one day, but some of them for as long as a whole week. And they spend time together, and they can be new in their roles, or they can be at Cornell for as long as a decade or more. And they'll be in all different age ranges. And they experience that learning together. And that's a really big part of our experiential learning programs. But then we also have very informal types of opportunities to learn together. So we use team-based projects. And we spend a lot of time thinking about who's going to lead that team. And we don't decide our leaders based on their title. We decide it on the basis of their skill set. So more and more frequently we're finding our leaders are coming sometimes quite new to Cornell, and sometimes from much more junior roles in the organization. So it's creating a lot of new opportunities for us. The other thing that we're doing more and more of these days are job rotations. So we're asking people to think about the other kinds of work they might like to try, and that's allowing people to try jobs that they haven't had before, and that's allowing us to move people into different kinds of work units, and that type of work rotation is creating work hierarchies that we haven't had as well. And so that's a different kind of innovation, but something new. And I guess the last thing I would say is not everything has to be about work. So a lot of our intergenerational things come around fun. We do a lot of fun walks, and we have dinners and lunches that we put together for the whole campus. And the people that plan those and put them on and volunteer come from all around the campus. So I was thinking about the idea of intergenerational learning, and there are some wonderful examples of that in corporations. And what I wanted to talk about was a program that we have at Cornell that I think is really uniquely Cornell, and it's called CLASP, and that stands for Community Learning and Service Partnership. And CLASP has actually been around since 1990. And it's a program of active learning partnerships between students who are taking a class. So this is a class they take for credit in adult learning. And employees who have identified a need that they have to learn. It might be that they need to learn English as their a second language. They might have some literacy issues that they need to work on. They might want to improve their computer skills. And they pair together for a whole semester. The student will also take a semester course with a faculty member in order to get their credit. But they meet every week to advance that employee's learning goals. And these, there have been 2,600 learning partnerships in the 25 years that this program has been going on. And it is absolutely transformative, not just for the adult learner, but also for the student learner as well. It has allowed some of our employees to advance skills that they thought they would never be able to advance. They came into the workplace perhaps missing some basic skills, and it has allowed them to help their own children with their homework. In some cases, they've gone on to complete their high school degrees. Some have gone on to complete their college degrees, to move up in the workplace. But it's also helped our students to see our workers. Many of these are our service workers in dining and facilities and grounds, to see them differently. and to understand each other with a level of mutual respect that they didn't have before. It is really a transformative program. I'm so proud of it. So I decided I wanted to talk about that because it's really something that I feel is very unique for Cornell. As I start to learn more about what generations want, I'm finding it interesting that some of the programs and benefits that we're contouring are particular to generations, and actually some are the same. So for some of our late stage workers, we have a program that's called phased retirement. It allows our faculty and staff who are at the final stages of their careers to be with us part-time, but to enjoy full-time benefits for a contract period. So we agree on a time period, it might be 1 year or 2 years, or 3 years, but after which they will leave. But during that period of time, they're able to transition from a job that's very important to them, a career that's been very important to them, and use that free time to plan and imagine their life outside of Cornell. So phased retirement has been very helpful to our faculty and to our staff. For our mid-career individuals, we focus on the issues that are important to them. And here we really exploit what we're the best at. So that's education. We have very generous tuition programs for our own employees and also for their children. And so we encourage people to stay with us and make their careers with us. So people can stay and they can get their own degrees, and they can get several degrees. But they can also help with their own children through school. But we also have programs that assist with elder care and with child care, because those are issues in mid-career. And so for our younger workers, those education program benefits are very attractive as well. And so that's a big recruitment issue for us as well. And as they get a little older, those child care issues too. But we are finding that the thing that binds all of our generations together is flexibility. Whether in their early stages, mid stages, or late stages, all of our workers are saying the same thing. They want to think differently about the relationship they have with their jobs. They want flexible opportunities. They want to be able to contour their work and their lives and their other priorities with some flexibility between their job and their home or their other priorities in their lives. And that's actually cutting across all the generations. So in 2016, I think we're going to be focusing more on job rotations. We really are finding those to be very helpful to people. It's allowing our staff, and this is really a staff-based program, it's allowing our staff to think of themselves in different jobs. And so it gives them a chance to try something new out. Maybe they thought they wanted a particular career, but they're not sure anymore. A short job rotation someplace else is helping them imagine themselves someplace else. So we're going to be focusing more on job rotations. We think that they're good. We've got them in 3 job families so far, and we're hoping to expand them into other job families as well. But we're also going to be doing more in mentoring. So in the mentoring area, and many corporations have these as well. So here we have 4 divisions have mentoring going now. We think more will be starting mentoring in the future. And there we're seeing what most people are seeing. The traditional mentor-mentee relationship is flipping. And so people who had been considered the mentee are teaching people who had been considered the mentor. And they're much more partnerships and collaborations than they used to be. So we think we'll be focusing more on that. And we'll also be doing more around financial planning, getting people at younger ages to think responsibly about financial planning, setting money aside and being responsible long-term for their own financial health and well-being. And that actually ties to the issue of flexibility. What we're hearing from people is that they have interests in encore careers and doing things differently earlier in their careers than they may have before. To be able to do that, they have to set money aside earlier and plan for maybe a different kind of a career future, because they'll be working much longer into their lives. And to be able to get that flexibility, they have to start planning earlier.